We'll call the Public Safety Committee meeting on November 3rd, 2021 to order. I am Chairman Healy, and the first order of business is roll call, please.
Mr. Healy?
Present.
Mr. Dibble?
Here.
Mr. Decker? Mr. Harris?
Here.
Mr. Havey?
Here.
Mrs. Hopkins? Here. Mr. Crandall? 5 present.
Quorum being present, we'll proceed. The second order of business is approval of the minutes. First for October 6th, 2021 meeting. I'll entertain a motion. Mr. Harris, seconded by Mr. Havey. Any discussion, corrections? Hearing none. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried. Next is the minutes of October 12th, 2021. I'll enter Mr. Harris and Mrs. Hopkins. Any discussion or corrections? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? Carried. Next, we'll have our department heads reports, and we'll start with J.R. Santana Carter, our public defender, our new public defender. Good afternoon, J.R., and welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, there we go. All right, numbers are up from last year, so COVID subsiding, so to speak. We're getting a lot more applications in than we got last year, still opening up around the same average. The only increase that I'm seeming to notice more recently is a lot more family court involvement. So people going back to have custody petitions modified and things of that nature.
Okay. Any increased activity because of the change in raise the age or also?
Not that I noticed. When it comes to raised age, I don't think we've had many of those come in the last few months. Those that have, most of the time they've been referred down through probation and haven't returned. So that's a good sign for those youth.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Any other thing you wish to highlight?
Only that council at first appearance plan, the first draft has been prepared and disseminated. Once we have some more talks with the county administrator, it will most likely be distributed to the legislators for review and comment.
Okay.
And it's most likely some meetings with OCA involvement.
All right, well, when you're ready to bring it before the committee, we'll be glad to take a look at it there. Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate all your hard endeavors in that matter.
Appreciate it.
Anything else? Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Next up is Emergency Management and Fire Director Jeff Flucky. Jeff's not with us today, but we have his assistant Bonnie Van Housen here in his place. Good afternoon, Bonnie.
Good afternoon. Jeff is at the arson conference. That's why he's not here, keeping up his continuing education for his being the fire investigator, and he's got the whole team up there, or most of them are up there for that. We've been busy the last week, or last month. We've been working with DHSES on a fiscal monitoring of 3 of our grants. And thank you to the Treasurer's Office for all their assistance with that. We've had Terry's staff and us have been sending lots of information because it's a desk review. So that's going well. Hopefully it'll be ended by the end of this week. We also had a training because there's a new system up where you check for training for the fire and instructors. And we've been doing some training with that for the state fire instructors because they'll be doing a lot more of the paperwork now. So we did 2 of them in this office, which are in this building, which I helped with. And everybody knows that the Fema Storm Fred. We've got a declaration, so we're working with all of our towns to try to get the money back for them and get them on board to get with all their applications.
For those listening in that aren't familiar with that, maybe you could go into that a little bit.
Okay, for a FEMA declaration, Allegheny County has to hit $190,000 worth of damages, and the state has to do $30 million worth of damages. We did get that, so it went to the president, and he did declare a disaster. So it's actually 4625. Everybody has to put in what's called an RPA to say that they want to be able to put in an application to reimburse themselves, to get reimbursements to the towns for the bridges and roadways that they had to fix due to the tropical storm Fred.
All right, all a good thing.
Yes.
All right. Anything else you wish to highlight?
I think that's all I've got.
Any questions from the legislators? Hearing none. All right, thank you, Bonnie.
Thank you.
Do we need to, we got something else we missed? No, Bonnie? We're gonna have to have Bonnie come back up here a minute. We got, yeah. All right, we got an MOE you had for us, too?
Okay. I have two MOEs. They're both to accept the grants that we have. The first one, I believe, is the EMPG.
I got here the,
SHSP.
right, the DHSES SHSP 21 grant. Is that-
Correct. This grant is going to give us equipment for, it's a grant that we do in conjunction with the Sheriff's Department, and this is our part of it. It's to get, it's to cover cybersecurity and the equipment that we can purchase to assist with radios for the new radio grant.
I'll move it, Mr. Chairman.
Moved by Mr. Harris, is there a second? Mrs. Hopkins, any discussion?
Chairman Healy, can I have a question?
Yes.
Yes.
Madam Treasurer.
I think the appropriation number is incorrect on here, and it needs to be the 31,366 instead of the 46,769. Those expenses add up to the 31,366, and this MOE doesn't have any account numbers, so they have not contacted me to get the new cost center set up. So between now and Ways and Means, I'll have that new number for you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, is everybody on board with that? Okay, if there's nothing further, Mr. Dibble. Is that,
I have 31.
yes, Bill, go ahead. Moved to second, Mr. Havy. Dibble made the motion, Mr. Havy made the second. All in favor of the amendment, say aye.
The second one is the.
Wait a minute.
Oops.
That was for the amendment. All right, so now we got, all in favor of the amendment to the resolution, say aye. Aye. All right, now, we'll take a vote on the MOE itself as amended. And any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, carried.
The second one is the EMPG grant. That covers part of our salaries, personal protective equipment, conference, and part of our rent for the Crossroads Conference Center.
Okay.
It's a 50-50 match grant.
Entertain a motion for that. Mr. Harris, seconded by Mr. Dibble. Any discussion or corrections noted?
Yes, Chairman Haley, there are some corrections that will need to be made to this before it comes to Ways and Means as well. The account numbers do not match with the revenue number, and we'll need to address that before it goes to Ways and Means. The dollar amounts seem to be okay on this, but the account numbers are incorrect, so I can fix that before it comes to Ways and Means.
So you don't need any amendments to this today?
The dollar amounts look okay.
All
I'll
right.
just adjust the account numbers.
All right, if there's no further discussion, all in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? Carried. Thank you, Bonnie. Next up is Keith Slepp, District Attorney, and standing in for Keith is Assistant District Attorney Ian Jones.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and good afternoon, everyone. In terms of our report, the only thing that really stands out to me is the violations. I think that that's mostly going to be traffic tickets. Officers are back to writing tickets in full swing, have been for some time now, but that's a big discrepancy over October of 2020. Other than that, everything's pretty much in full swing. No restrictions that are really impacting our workload or day-to-day caseload or anything like that at this point. So
So the violations include traffic violations? Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, that's-
Or is that the violations under the penal law?
it includes both, but the vast majority of that will be your VTL violations, via traffic tickets.
All right, thank you. Any questions for Ian on his report? Mr. Harris?
Thanks. Just wondering now that it's ramped back up, if your office is able to keep up with the workload with all the new discovery rules and so forth.
I don't know that we're ever going to be able to completely keep up with it. I mean, we've had this discussion ad nauseum, really, but it's a discussion that should continue to be had because I think it is kind of designed for failure for DA's offices. I don't think any DA's office can really fully keep up with the obligations. We've done the best we can. We've added attorneys, we've added staff. So we're doing what we can do. I can't say that we are able to comply with discovery on every single case. There are ways to work with that we try to be creative and work, for instance, with other offices, defense attorneys on maybe sometimes we can waive discovery if it's a case we can easily settle. This is a very broad discussion we could have for a long time, but I guess all I can really say is we're doing the best we can.
Are you declining to prosecute any cases because of your workload?
No.
Thank you.
Mr. Barnes?
Related question. Is your staffing at where you want it now? Or is it everybody up to speed? And
Well, and we'll get to that in a minute. We're going to have a little turnover, but no, I think we could use more, and a lot of that is because of the new rules, the new laws. It really can't be understated how much of an impossible burden the new laws are on every district attorney's office across the state. It's an impossibility, quite frankly.
thank you.
Maybe just to give the public an idea on discovery, can you explain to them what the rules used to be on timeliness and discovery compared to what they are today under the new
Well,
laws?
It's a very complex discussion, really. And actually, I had a conversation with some of you at one point about maybe coming in here with a couple of cases and demonstrating the difference. Because I think if people saw what it was really like, it would be kind of shocking. It's not the most exciting presentation you're ever going to see, but it is something we have to deal with every day. It used to be that even on a serious felony, for the most part, at a certain point, just a little bit before trial, if you got that far, you had to turn over only certain information. Usually it was a few sheets of paper. Now on every single case, everything from a felony to a traffic ticket, you have to turn over any and all material related to that case. A lot of it we don't even have. but by operation of law, it's deemed to be in our possession. So we have to obtain it in a very short period of time. There was a change to the original discovery requirements. If a person is in custody now, you have 15 days to turn all that over. If they're not in custody, you now have 45 days, so that extra 30 days is something, I guess. But as you can imagine, some of these cases are very complex, and the idea of obtaining everything related to a case in that period of time is just not possible. I mean, Mr. Chairman.
Well, it's very expensive too, so some of it requires a test to be done, lab test and.
Right, and
everything else.
as you know, probably is at least as well, if not better than anyone here from your time with the New York State Police, that there's no way that law enforcement can generate all of this in the time allotted either. So and the other problem is that this requirement kind of begins anew every time there's more discovery in the case. So let's say I have a very important case and I make sure that I get everything out that I have or I'm deemed to have in a timely fashion. That by the end of this case, that might be 5% of my discovery. So I have to, every time there's more discovery that comes in, I have to essentially start from scratch and make sure that everything goes again and again and again. And that also happens if there's a change of attorney, which really isn't supposed to be our burden, but we're being told, well, can you just turn over discovery so we can move the case along, things like that. So it's an impossibility. Like I said, it's a very complex discussion, but we're doing the best we can.
Right. I don't think
Mr. Chair,
yes.
I have a question about that.
Mrs. Hopkins?
If you, for some reason, don't have all of the information for the trial, is it grounds for a mistrial or anything like that? Can that be thrown out for any reason?
Well, that depends on where we're at in the proceeding at trial. If we're at the point that we're at trial, then that information would have to be turned over by then. I don't know that the court would allow it to proceed to the point of starting a trial if we were not able to turn things over at that point. What we would have to do is show our continued good faith effort to obtain and provide the material. We haven't really had a situation yet where we're, sitting there with the jury in the box and going, well, we don't have this yet. We don't have this back from the lab, or we don't have this piece of evidence back from DNA testing. We haven't had that situation yet. I don't think we would get into that situation. We could, though. I mean, we don't have any control over when we get things back from, for instance, the lab in Albany, and the court has their obligations with respect to standards and goals, and they can't allow cases to be adjourned indefinitely. It could be a problem. It's not something that we've run into at that juncture yet, when we're sitting there ready for a trial.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. You got our RFP for us here, do you?
Yes, as many of you probably know, Sue Culligan is retiring in December, sadly. She will be missed very much. She's a wonderful person to work with and just simply be around, but we will need to fill her position. So we have this request to fill. There was, as you can see on about halfway through in the grade and step, it's my understanding that, I guess I'm not sure what was there before. It's scribbled out. It should, and maybe the administrator can bail me out if I'm wrong here, that would more appropriately state step 3.
That's correct, and I believe you're taking an employee from another office, and they're currently step 3, and they're just moving to your office, correct?
That's my understanding, yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, so this is an RFP to fill the secretary to the district attorney position, right? And we have to amend this, or?
I don't think you need to amend it. I think, your motion will be step 3. I think the assistant district attorney did a good job explaining the correct information.
And otherwise, this has been signed off on by Mr. Slep, is that correct, or?
Yeah, that's his signature at the bottom
Okay.
there.
And the county administrator and personnel officer. Any comments from Mr. Budinger in the back?
No comments, I agree with everything that was said.
Thank you. Well, that being the case, I'll entertain a motion as it stands, grade 3, step 3. All right. Mr. Havey and Mrs. Hopkins. Thank you. Any further discussion, Mr. Harris?
Just a question. So if the step is getting adjusted, does that adjust the hourly range and the annual salary range too?
It would be in the middle of that, and
So, but it's within the range.
yes, I believe step 3 is $22.60 odd cents. There's 4 decimals. $22.6052 an hour.
Okay, thanks.
Any other discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carry.
Okay, thank you all.
Thank you. Next up is Brian Perkins, Stop DWI Coordinator. Good afternoon, Brian.
Good afternoon, everyone. My reports here is not nearly as exciting or eventful, I think, but our victim impact panels are going to continue to run. We'll get things set back up out at the county jail, and I am bringing in one more person back into ACASA. In the past, when we were full go before pre-pandemic here, it was they had a counselor come in and speak to the individuals too. So we're going to welcome that person back in to try to add another piece to it and build back, see how things go, what we can make room for in there, and then maybe when we get into the next round, the next one will fall into 22, and we'll look at maybe bringing in some live panelists again, getting back towards that. Other than that, you know, the high visibility engagement campaign, formerly known as the crackdown, you know, not calling it that anymore, but that cycle has started again. So I'll be working with the sheriff's department on what we're going to set up for patrols, what ones. We usually don't hit all of the dates that the state puts out there. We've got a few that we typically target, so we'll look at those. And then I didn't make it on here, but I am looking into what I can do for the December meeting to maybe not full of cookies and wassail, but I'm sure we've got some people that miss getting a Christmas cookie at the meeting, so see what we can do.
Okay. Any questions for Brian?
Well, it is the 40th anniversary of the Stop DWI program for New York State, so it's a good reason to celebrate with a couple cookies, right?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you. Next is Robert Starks, Probation Director. Good afternoon, Robert.
Now I'm on.
There you go.
Okay. I have my report in front of you. I would like to add that after the 27th of October, we had maybe 4 or 5 more referrals for the juveniles, so those numbers actually are a bit higher than what I was able to report for the month of October. Also, I've been told from my staff that the investigations that the courts are ordering are starting to come in now. So I think maybe we're starting to see a little more work, and which should translate probably down the road to some more supervision cases, and that number should increase somewhat as well. So maybe we're starting to see the courts fully starting back working, and principals are showing up for court, and cases are being moved along, so.
Any questions for Robert on his report?
I do want to highlight just quickly there that Officer Mahoney was Sarah Mahoney was invited to go to Oklahoma to give a presentation. She has become I guess, an expert on strangulation. So she was asked to go out there and give a presentation, and we're very proud of the fact that she did that to represent our department in Allegheny County. She's become known around the country for the work that she's done in this field, so.
Well, thank you. Mr. Graves, you have a question?
Just a brief question for Bob. I notice all these meetings that it's an impressive list, Bob, the meetings that you attend and you've chaired, and shows that you're dedicated. Just curious, do you get overtime for going to all those meetings?
Oh, yes, Carl. Yeah.
Somehow I don't believe you.
I don't think that was in my contract, but.
Just from myself.
Actually, most of these meetings are during the day. It's very rare that I, have to work past.
Some of them required some travel, and
Some of them.
I think it's a credit to you and your profession
Some of them.
that you're
but
dedicated enough to do all that. So
It was a busy
appreciate it.
month. However, I will be on vacation 2 weeks in November, so the list will be far shorter probably next month when I,
All right, thank you for your
present it.
service.
So, you're welcome.
Okay, anything else? Any other questions for Bob or anything else you wish to highlight, Robert?
Nothing else on that. I do have the MOE though for
All right, we'll
Review.
go ahead with that then.
This is the Supervision and Treatment Services for Juveniles program. Money we get from the state go towards the programs that we use with juveniles, such as multi-systemic therapy, READY, which is a mentoring program, our PINS reform, and our electronic monitoring for juveniles. So this money is used to pay for those services.
I'll entertain a motion. Mrs. Hopkins and Mr. Dibble. Any discussion?
Mr. Haley?
Yes, Mrs.
We might-
Hopkins.
We might just mention that the amount of this grant is $178,324, significant amount.
Yes, thank you. That's $178,324 coming in to us. Any other questions? Mr. Harris, any? No. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Next, we have Gilbert Green, Director of Weights and Measures. Good afternoon, Gilbert.
Good afternoon, everyone. I guess highlight, would be the getting students back from Elm Street Academy. I got 2 of them this year, half day each. Seem to be working out. Of course, they can't lift much, but we're working on it.
Yeah. Now, how long has that program been going on? It's been quite a while, right?
At least 10 years.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
win a few, you'll lose a few. But
Yeah.
most of them work out pretty good.
Yeah, I think it's a worthwhile program. Anything else you wish to highlight?
No, I went to one meeting. Yes, I did. It was during the day. But if we ever have a live meeting, I actually get reimbursed for some of my time from the state office. So hopefully we'll have a meeting again.
There you go. All right, any questions for Gilbert? Guess not, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Next, we have Sheriff Rick Whitney.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Sheriff.
I submitted my report if you have any questions.
Any questions on the sheriff's report? I guess not. Anything you want to highlight there, Sheriff?
Not really. It was a pretty quiet month.
Okay, well, let's move ahead with your MOEs here.
Okay, I have the first MOE. I'm asking to, actually, it's a request to fill position for a part-time cook.
Entertain a motion. Moved by Mr. Harris, second by Mr. Havy. Discussion. It's been signed off on by by your department, the county administrator, and the personnel officer. So this meets everyone's approval, is that correct?
Yes, it does.
All right. Any questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Anybody opposed? Carried.
And then I have an MOE requesting a resolution to do some budget adjustments. There is no impact. We're just transferring money from one account to another.
Okay, moved by Mr. Harris, seconded by Mr. Dibble. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Carried.
And I believe the last MOE is going to be presented by the county administrator.
Alrighty.
So the last MOE is looking at the part-time correction officers. Normally, our part-time positions are tied to the base rate of the full-time equivalent, whatever that base rate is set by their collective bargaining agreement. But in the case of correction officers, this board, by Resolution 7212, adopted a completely different pay schedule. And as a result, I believe part-time COs start, I think, at $13 an hour, and they top out after 10 years service at $17 an hour, I believe. And, you know, it's been 9 years. Nobody has really sponsored a resolution to correct this or to consider this differently. I'm proposing that we look at paying our part-time COs the same as a full-time CO, their base rate only. And that will increase every year that the base rate goes up according to the collective bargaining agreement. They will not earn steps on top of the base rate. It is just strictly the base rate.
And that currently is.
I don't have it in front of me. Hold on a second. Doing this should help the sheriff recruit and retain a list of part-time COs. And the more part-time COs he has, the less likely it is he'll have to mandate full-time COs to cover shifts, which, as you know, cost us more in overtime. So there is, although there is a cost to us, there's also a potential savings in offsetting that with overtime.
No, and no doubt, and this is, in my personal opinion, is long overdue.
Mr. Chairman, I'm very much in favor of this resolution. If you look at the MOE we just approved, the part-time cooks get paid $19.53 an hour. These people walk the toughest hallways in Allegheny County, in New York State for that matter. They're threatened every time that they show up. They're a second away from death, as long as they wear the uniform. You know, I have all respect for our cooks, but I don't think they face the trials and tribulations of an active workplace like the correction staff do. So,
Well, I would hope not, anyway.
me too.
It's $22.57 an hour's base rate.
Okay. All right. Now, did we have a motion on that?
I think Mr. Havy had his hand up as
Yeah.
well.
Did we have a motion there? All right. All right, Mr. Havy makes the motion. Is there a second? Mr. Dibble. All right. Any further discussion?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'm in favor of this. Just wondering, the $70,000 that's the estimated increased expenses is based on current part-time hours?
Yes,
And it's the expectation that part-time hours will be increasing.
right.
So when this circles back around in resolution form, can we get a more accurate estimate of the fiscal impact?
We could try. I know Terry was the one that gave me that, and she looked at the actual hours that part-timers worked in 2020 and then adjusted that up as if they were earning base rate in 2020.
Yeah.
So,
Well, this
yeah.
this should help out with the reduction in overtime too, correct?
Well, yes, it should. I mean, we're hoping that we get more part-timers with this. I mean, I can't tell you that we're gonna, but I'm assuming we will.
Right, and it should improve morale amongst
Yes.
the entire staff.
And I mean, if you look at we just advertised the part-time CO test. And if you noticed when all the tests came out, the surrounding counties put their test out the same time we did, and everybody else was well above ours. And the last time I knew, Bobby can correct me or update it, we had less than 10 people signed up to take the test.
I don't know the numbers that currently what they are, but I know that in years past, our numbers were, we'd have over 100 people that would have applied for this, and that number's been going down each time we've given it, and I suspect it's due to salary.
Right.
So I also think this is a very
Right. I think it's positive all the way around.
I wanted to be to have this MOE here because I wanted to make it very clear that I support the sheriff's office and their request to have us consider this. And they're really trying to reduce the overtime and the budget overall. So this was my request to put this on here in support of the sheriff.
Well, we appreciate that, Madam Administrator, and we also appreciate the sheriff and his employees, all their efforts to reduce the cost down there. Yes.
Just one more. So will this resolution require an amendment to the tentative?
I don't believe so. I think we'll be all right on that.
Thank you.
Anything further? Okay, hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried. Thank you, Sheriff.
That's all I have. Thank you.
All right, any old business to bring before the committee? Any new business to bring before the committee? Anything for the good of the order? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment made by Mr. Dibble, seconded by Mr. Havey. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anybody opposed? Carried. We're adjourned.